What's up, guys? Welcome back to After the Island. This is Elizabeth.
I'm Alex.
And we have Mady with us today. Hey.
Hi. So nice to meet you guys.
You too. We are so excited to talk to you.
Yes.
We just talked to Andy, so we want all the tea.
Yes.
I have a lot of tea.
Oh, we're excited. We're excited.
It's so funny when people come on here and they're like, it's so nice to meet you. And I'm like, I feel like I already know you since I've been watching you on TV. I forget that we
know you guys too.
Yeah. Well, before we get into all of the stuff with Andy, we have questions about you, of course. And we want to know, first of all, how was your experience walking into the villa as a bombshell? Were you nervous? Did you have any idea you were going to be a bombshell?
Yeah, so I was so nervous because I thought I was walking in by myself. So I didn't know that Val was there until I got there. So when I saw her, I was immediately relieved because I did not want to walk in alone. I didn't really know I was going to be a bombshell until the day of. I just knew I was going in day one. So I knew like days before that I was going in day one, but I didn't know I was going to be a bombshell until that day. But yeah, I was very nervous, but everyone was super welcoming. And as soon as I met everyone, my nerves went away.
Yeah, I feel like you did great.
Yes.
How did you originally apply for the show? Did they find you on Instagram? Like, what was your process like?
Yeah, so I was scouted, I think, like at the end of December. So someone messaged me on Instagram, and I was in the process, audition process for 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
And I honestly had a gut feeling and knew that I was going to be picked, just by the way, you know, they always were reaching out, making sure I was still single. And I don't know, I think you know whenever something's for you. So I knew in my heart that I was going to be picked. But yeah, I was in the process for a long time.
Oh my gosh, that's so fun.
Yes, that was like ours too.
Yeah.
I think with Love Island, you either just know or you don't. It's so weird because I felt the same way. I was like, I just know that I'm going to get this.
I had a feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just knew it. And my parents were like, didn't believe me until I literally had a plane ticket.
Same. I like immediately started going to the gym every single day, and people were like, why all of a sudden are you starting to work out so consistently? And I was like, I can't tell you.
You're like, I'm really into fitness, okay?
Like, no reason.
So before, like, obviously we know you had a connection with Andy, and we watched this all play out with the recoupling of Sydney. And how did you feel when you found out about the secret kiss?
It definitely took me by surprise because I didn't find out until, days after it happened. But I mean, I was a little upset by it, but at the same time, like that is part of Love Island, is dating around and seeing who you connect with. I also ended up kissing Isaiah. So I didn't really like judge her by it or, Andy by it. Yeah, I was a little bit hurt, but I did know like walking into Love Island that is what the experience is about. So
I forgot about you kissing Isaiah until just now.
Same.
Yeah.
Totally forgot.
Yeah.
How was that?
It was good. I mean, he initiated the kiss, and it really was just like a kiss goodnight. Like it wasn't a make out. I mean, yeah, we made out like in the challenges and stuff, but the bed kiss was just kind of like a goodnight kiss. And I think he also was just kind of hurting, as was I. So we were probably just like consulting each other,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you guys were just like, you know what? Fuck it. Like,
totally.
That's the mood on Love Island. You're like, well, I mean, what am I going to do?
Exactly.
How did you feel when Andy had picked Sydney in the recoupling? Did this catch you off guard? Were you actually as like stunned as it appeared on the show, or?
I actually wasn't very blindsided. So Sydney had expressed in the dressing room that she had a feeling that Andy was going to pick her. So I had heard from her that she had a feeling. I didn't really think that their connection was that strong, but I was, thinking about it in the back of my mind. I honestly did think, though, that he was still going to pick me. So when he did say her name, I was surprised. I wasn't blindsided, but I was surprised. because one, that took a lot of courage to do. And two, I just thought like we were on the same page. And he hadn't really told me anything. So all I knew was from what I had heard from Sydney, but I was still a little surprised by it for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think we
definitely.
all were. We were
Yeah.
all a little stunned.
Oh,
My
yeah.
mouth wanted to drop. It really did,
Oh.
but I was like clenching so that I didn't do that.
Well,
That would be me. I'd be
yeah,
like,
no,
"Don't
I
react,
know.
don't react."
Don't react. Well, going off of that, how did you start to build your trust again with Andy after all of this happened? Because I know it's definitely like, it's not the best feeling when you're in there and that happens.
Yeah, so I wish the viewers could have seen more of our conversations, because watching back, it kind of was like, me saying, once you burn a bridge, you burn it, to the next episode, me picking him and recoupling. And so people probably were like, what the hell? But and Andy actually like pulled me for a lot of chats in between then, where he expressed how much he realized that I really did check all of his boxes, and he realized his feelings for me whenever him and Sydney were coupled up, and how even though he didn't think I would give him a second chance, he was still going to put forth effort to prove to me. And I was like very hesitant. I was like, I don't really know how I feel about it. I was like, I just will expect effort and I will see from your actions, because words only mean so much. So he really did like try. And so it was with the effort and his actions that I started to be like, okay, he really does care. He also had conversations with Zeta about me, and told her like how he had been feeling and how he was, feeling a little bit jealous about my date with Chaz. So I was hearing the things that he was saying. I was seeing the effort and his consistency. And that's kind of where I was like, yeah, I'll give you a second chance, which was really hard for me to do, because I am pretty prideful, and I had, told him like, I'm not giving you a second chance, and I had told that to America. So for me to like go back on what I had said was a very big step, but also I think it showed how strongly I did feel about him, because that was hard for me to do, to put my pride and my ego aside and give a man a second chance in front of everyone after he betrayed me. But also I realized his character, because when he was initiating those conversations and telling me that he messed up and taking that accountability, even though I had told him you're not getting a second chance, the fact that he was still expressing his interest showed that he really did care, and it really put things into perspective for me. So initially I did end up giving him a second chance.
I love that. What was it like when you had to say goodbye to him when he was eliminated? Were you shocked by this? And was there anything that he said to you that maybe wasn't caught on camera?
I actually had a gut feeling that was going to happen. I had a gut feeling that Sarah was going to show up that night. I had a gut feeling that it was going to be us in the bottom two couples, and I had a gut feeling that one of us would stay and one of us would leave. So I was still surprised, but my gut was telling me that was going to happen. It was the hardest goodbye besides Deb and I's goodbye that I've ever done. I've never cried that much over a guy. It actually, I watched that episode and I was way more hysterical than it looked like I was on TV. Like Deb slept with me that night because
oh my gosh,
everyone knew how sad I was. But it was very hard, and it put things into perspective for me on just how much I cared about him. And he did say to me, it wasn't shown, he was like, I think you're the best person I've ever met. And then I just cried more.
oh.
Do you think that kind of affected you going on the date with Jared? Like, did that affect you at all? Were you kind of closed off? I don't want to like put words in your mouth, but I don't know. It just seemed like you weren't like totally there with Jared because you were still super into Andy.
Yeah. So that date with Jared was literally the next day, like not even 24 hours after Andy left. And so that whole day I was trying so hard to be positive because I was saved and I wanted everyone to know how thankful I was for still getting to be in the villa. And I was trying to just like put my emotions to the side and be positive and take advantage of my time. And so when I did get asked on the day, I was so excited because it did take my mind off of things because I was like secretly crying behind closed doors. Um, but I was very excited for the date. And honestly, when Jared walked in, I was very excited about him. He was so attractive. I was so attracted to him. He was so sweet, so genuine, so mature. It wasn't until after the date where I had a breakdown. I literally broke down, and Zeta was like, I knew you were going to do that. I knew it was going to hit you after the date.
Mhm.
And I think that's kind of when it just hit me. I was like, someone can check all of your boxes and you can be attracted to them, but if you don't feel a spark, you don't feel a spark. And then I think, you know, with the date with Jared, I just kept thinking like, you're not Andy. And
Mhm.
I hated to like think it, but I was like, God, I wish it was Andy that I was having this date with. And that sucked for Jared because he did deserve a chance, but my head was just all over the place and my emotions were so all over too because in 24 hours I went from telling someone I really liked them to an hour later them being dumped to then being single to then you know having to go on a date with someone. So it was a lot for me, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, we even saw the scene of you up in the makeup room, just like sitting down with your back against the dresser. It was so sad. I feel like everyone just wanted to comfort you in that moment.
Mhm.
And it
I
was nice to
know.
see that the girls did come up and want to talk to you and make sure that you were okay.
There was a lot more crying that happened too. But
Oh,
yeah, I don't think I've ever cried over a guy that much ever. Like not even my ex-boyfriends when we broke up.
Oh my
wow.
gosh. Wow.
Mhm.
So like your connection is real.
Yeah.
This is real. Yeah. When do you think was the moment that you noticed that you were ready to go? Do you think it was during the date or after the date kind of?
I think after like it was during that week, I kept telling myself, you know, you'll be better tomorrow. You'll be better tomorrow. Just keep pushing. It's gonna suck for a few days, but then you'll get there. And I was like, it takes me a while to like really start to like someone. So I did think, you know, with time, Jared and I would um, build a solid foundation. And I did think that I would potentially like him. But then it reached the end of the week and I was still feeling the same. And I was still thinking about Andy. And for some reason, I really thought that they were maybe going to bring Andy back as like a surprise. I don't know.
Oh.
I was just clinging on to that hope. And like every time we got a text, I was thinking, oh, they're bringing Andy back. And then it wasn't a text about Andy. And so that's kind of when I was like, okay, I don't really know if you're 100% invested in this experience anymore now that Andy's gone. It's not fair to you. It's not fair to Andy. It's not fair to your other Islanders. And so I kind of knew I was starting to check out by the end of the week. And then when the surprise dumping happened, and I knew that they were going to have to dump a girl, immediately I was like, I'm going to volunteer.
Oh, I know. I thought that was really sweet of you
Yeah.
to do that and know, your headspace really wasn't there anymore. Your head and your heart weren't in it.
Yeah.
It takes a lot to also muster up the courage to do that because of course like you're going on the show, you've worked so hard to get there. I
Right.
mean, 6 months in the making, and then you're kind of like, well shit, like do I leave and kind of give this up? But when you do find a connection like that, you're like there's no point in me being here anymore, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like that's the thing is it was like coming into this that was a huge sacrifice for me to like put my work on hold, my friends and my family, like not talking to them. I had been single for 6 years. So like
Wow.
me doing the show, I was literally like, I want to find someone potentially that could like a relationship that could work outside of the villa. Like I really was not there to win or for the clout. I was literally there to find someone, make a connection, and it potentially work outside of the villa. So when Andy walked out during that week, I realized I was like, that's the only person I could really see it ever working out with outside of the villa. And that's kind of when I was like, I've met the most amazing people. I've stepped out of my comfort zone. I've had the best experience, but my purpose walked out that door. Like my purpose for waking up every single day walked out that door. So it wasn't fair for me or anyone else to keep staying there if my connection wasn't there anymore.
Totally. And we obviously saw you have this great friendship with Deb, and I want to hear more about that and how, she probably was there for you throughout all of this.
Yeah, Deb is literally, I think, my bestest friend in the whole wide world. Like, I'm so thankful Love Island brought me her. She really helped me on some of my hardest days. Obviously, you saw her comforting me while I was crying on the floor, which was so sad. When I watched that, I was like, oh, that is so sad.
Really sad.
But no, she really did help me. Like, she slept with me, that first night where I was single, and comforted me. She didn't have to do that. She obviously had Jesse, but she volunteered to sleep with me because she knew I was hurting, because that's just the person that she is. And, every time I cried, she understood how I was feeling. And she was like, it's definitely okay to cry. Like, your feelings are valid. It's okay to miss him. There were times where I was like, I just want to give up. And she would be like, very understanding, but she would be like, don't make any rash decisions. Like, you need to like really think it through. So she really would help me think clearly, because I was very much thinking with all of my emotions during that week. But she really was my shoulder to cry on. And she also helped keep me going that week, because during that week I was like, I don't know what the reason, like what my purpose is anymore. But Deb helped, and like seeing her every day also made things easier.
Totally. And for you, have you watched the show back? Like, are you caught up as of right now?
Yes, I'm caught up.
So my question is, what do you want for Deb? Like, do you think Jesse is a good fit for her? Are you hoping that she chooses to go back, or to not keep Kyle from Casa Amor? Or do you think he's a better fit for her? I'm just so curious to know like what your thoughts are as her like bestie.
Yeah, so being there, like I, obviously saw her and Jesse's relationship, and they built such a solid relationship. They're such a solid couple. Obviously, Jesse has made some mistakes, and that's hurt me seeing her upset, because, she's questioned her worth a lot of times, and she's literally the best person I've ever met in my life, and anyone would be so lucky to have her. So for her to question her self-worth really hurts, because you don't want to see your best friend thinking that. But at the end of the day, I am rooting for them. Like, I do think that they could really work outside of the villa. I do think that they built such a strong foundation. But I do think Jesse needs to see what he has in front of him. Just like, Jesse has explored other connections, and Deb has always been there. I think Deb owes it to herself to explore another connection, because that's what Love Island is about. And I don't want her to ever look back and regret that.
Mm-hmm.
Andy and I both were coupled up with other people, and that kind of put things into perspective for us. Same with Cindy and Isaiah, same with Timmy and Zeta. So I think it's time for Deb and Jesse to kind of, Jesse was coupled up with Val, but it's time for Deb to be coupled up with someone else, so that Jesse can really see. And maybe that lights a fire underneath his butt, and he's like, oh my God, I need to be putting forth more effort, because Deb literally deserves the freaking world. Oh. So I hope, that she does couple up with someone new, and Jesse sees what he has in front of him. But at the end of the day, I really am rooting for Jesse and Deb.
Yeah,
I'm kind of on the same page with you on that. Like, I want him to kind of see what it feels like so he can step it up. So I'm like, sorry, Kyle, you're being used as a pawn in this situation, but I do think it would work though. Sometimes guys just need to see that to really get the emotions
totally.
out of them.
Or hear it.
Yeah, or hear it.
Exactly.
I think Jesse might need to see it though versus hear it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Deb's had to see him kiss other girls, and she didn't get picked in that challenge, which broke my heart. So Jesse does need to see Deb have a connection with someone else.
Absolutely.
I totally agree.
Yeah. Sorry. So The question on everyone's minds.
Yes.
What is going on with you and Andy? Give us all of the tea.
This literally is like the $1 million question.
It is so the $1 million question.
We have rekindled. We have each other's cell phone numbers, so it's official.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
That is like the official thing because you literally don't have their numbers when you leave.
I wish they had like Peacock Plus so we could, continue to watch. I'm too
Um,
invested.
No, but things are really good. We're just taking it like one day at a time, but I do think we're going to try and see each other next week. So I think he's going to try to come to Oklahoma, so we'll see. But we're very much on the same page. We obviously think very highly of each other. We're very excited about what could come, but we are, getting back into the reality of things. So we are taking it at a slower pace, but we have rekindled and we very much are interested in a future, but good things take time.
Yes, for sure. And it's a good thing to take it slow once you get out of the villa because everything is so fast paced there that you've just got to
you got to take the pressure
let
out
it
of
flow.
all of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I know. And it's not easy. Everyone being like, oh, what? Like, what's her status? Blah, blah, blah. Are you guys dating? I get it.
Yeah. People can be too invested.
Yeah.
Like us too.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm so glad we have the supporters though, because I was like, oh, people are probably going to hate us. But people have been very supportive, and that makes me feel really good because I think now people are actually seeing that we really did have a strong connection. Because looking back, I don't think the viewers really got to see that. A lot of our conversations weren't aired. So I'm glad that people are rooting for us because it was hard to see that we did have a strong connection because of the lack of time that we did get on the show. So I'm very thankful for all the positive comments and all the support.
Totally. Wow, we can't wait. Oh my God, that sounds so exciting. And for anyone listening, where can they find you on all of your social medias?
Yeah, so my Instagram is at MadyMcLanahan. Hard last name.
Also, tell us where you got your top from and where we can find it because we're obsessed.
Yes.
My top is from my mom and I's store, the Vintage Leopard. It also comes in green. So it's like so leather. And it has shoulder pads and then this cute little tie.
We love it.
We could get matching ones.
Yes, you'll come back.
Yeah. Wait, so give everyone the website or Instagram. Where can they find it?
Okay, so the Instagram is at Vintage Leopard. And then the website is vintageleopard.com. VINTAGELEOPARD.
Amazing.
I love it.
Amazing.
Wow, that's so exciting.
Oh, well, we are so happy to talk to you. And we are so excited for you and Andy and to watch your journey outside of the villa, wherever it goes. And we can't wait to meet you in real life. Hopefully we can.
Yes. I can't wait to meet you in real life too. Like, I'm so excited. I'm excited to like go out all together.
Yes, 100%.
And we're both in LA, so you let us know when you make it out here if you do.
Everyone's in LA. I'm like, should I move to LA?
Yes, you should. Give it a go.
Andy can find a house for all.
Andy can find a house for everyone.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much. And we hope we get to meet you soon.
Yes, I hope I get to meet y'all. Thank you guys so much for having me. It's literally an honor.
Oh my stop. Gosh. It's an honor to have you.
Like, thank you.
Over here. All right. Thank you so much, Mady.
Bye. Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.